But this is TalkSPORT. Gabby Agbon Lahore insists that Eddie will rethink England job due to PSR restrictions at Newcastle. Let's take a look at the discussion that the boys had and lasses and TalkSPORT.
We're seeing here big names, big battles, with Casemiro saying, I won't Turk the easy way out, with Casemiro determined to stay and just fight for his Manchester United position. So we'll get onto that in a minute. But I want to just turn your focus onto Carl Walker, the headline being here, Walker vows to win back his Lions place after being left out of Lee Carsley's squad. Because so Carl Walker, basically saying, the 90-cap veteran, saying, I'm disappointed, but you have to accept it and just try and prove people wrong. So that's also one of the back pages. And then just finally, which we'll come into in a minute, but I want to grab your focus here because the Daily Mail says, tunes Howe's hint because Newcastle won't block Eddie Howe's exit if England come calling. So, Gabby, if you were the FA and you had everyone at your disposal, how high up would Eddie Howe be on your list?
Very high. And if I'm the FA, I'm looking at the way football is now with the PSR problems. That isn't what Eddie Howe thought was going to happen. The future of Newcastle at the moment with these rules, they can't buy anyone. You know, Newcastle fans probably thought these new owners, 300, 400, whatever billions they've got, and you can't spend it. So Eddie Howe would have been frustrated at the transfer window. And if he can get out and go and manage his country, I'm sure he will. So if I was the FA, I'd use that to their advantage.
So do you think if you were Eddie Howe, you would take it if you were
100% now? Because the frustration, I don't think Newcastle finish in the top 4. I don't think their squad has got enough depth in it. He would have been disappointed not to get Gahey in, even some more replacements up front as well with Callum Wilson's injury problems. So I think part of Eddie Howe now would have changed his thinking of like, okay, then maybe I will look at that England job now.
Would be exciting, wouldn't
Look at that. He's got his opinion, and a lot of Newcastle fans don't think we're going to finish, in top 4. Mighty Wayne thinks we're going to win the league. So that's up for debate, of course.
Yeah, he's
interesting takes right there on TalkSPORT DX.
Well, yeah, I think he's a bit naive. Agbon, he said, we did add a striker, obviously a third striker. I know we didn't add a big name, but we were never going to do that. I think Eddie might be getting a bit disillusioned though, but there might be certain aspects of the club. If we want to run the club with a sporting director, maybe we need to, maybe it isn't for Eddie. Maybe it's not his bag. Could be wrong, but that's what it seems like, doesn't it? So I just get a funny feeling like they put this Carsley in charge. That can't be the long-term appointment, surely. So Eduardo, well, we shall see. But I think it could be something could happen in the next few weeks. And it might actually
be English, man, according to Mighty Wayne.
Might be one of those things that works for all parties, though. You never know.
Well, we have to see at the end
of the season. He's the only man, isn't he? He's the only English man who could.
He's the only man. He's the best. Now, as far as PSR is concerned, because you did mention in DX quite astutely, to be fair, about the Leicester situation and stuff like that. But Sky Sports had a piece on Twitter about, do the Premier League need to change their PSR rules? We've talked about it, of course, but let's take a listen to what Sky Sports had to say. Come on now, where is it?
The rules so that loopholes like that can be closed?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a number of aspects to it. So there's rules like that, and then there's also the fact that, as we've seen within the window, the fact that clubs are now having to comply with PSR in such a strict way and operating according to that means that, in line with what we've seen within the transfer window, that academy players are being sold and other things are starting to happen at clubs, which means that the rules are there for very good reason. It's just the way that they are currently implemented and the way that clubs are having to comply with them isn't exactly how they may have originally imagined it when the rules were drawn up.
Yeah, because if I'm a fan, I hate the idea that a player who's been with my club since he was 8 or whatever it is, kind of, in quotes, has to be sold.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And that wasn't the plan, was it?
No, it wasn't the plan. And the fact that that's now happening means that there will undoubtedly over time be either a change to the rules or there will be tweaks made, because it's not in anyone's interest, clubs, the Premier League, or anybody else, for academy products to be sold. Every fan, every club owner wants to see youth promoted, and if that now starts to not happen, or they get sold sooner than they would because the fact that they represent a pure profit on from an accounting perspective means that it's not the way everyone would have imagined it when it got first implemented.
Interesting, man. But Bilbo, I think, is commenting something there. Premier League clubs are voting for this to stay. So who are these teams that is it just the vast majority of smaller mid-table to lower teams that once does that really benefit them, because they can't use money to buy players, or I mean they can, but they can't do it all the time. So certainly the youth academy players are something that they can use to become better teams, and obviously they can't do it because they have to sell them. We had to sell Anderson. I don't know if Yankuba is Minte academy player.
Not really.
He wouldn't be
No,
considered.
because we paid a fee.
Yeah, he would be classed as
No.
our academy player.
No, but we paid a fee. We paid a fee for him.
Yeah.
Like 6 million for him.
Yeah, but he was still under 18 at the time.
Right.
Yeah,
so that's
he
what
was 19.
Yeah, but you imagine look what Niles put underneath this.
I think we're gonna end up selling Sanusi next summer. You see, Sanusi to me is really really good. Well, I mean, amongst the young players that we got, I guess. And I think he should be able to, gradually come into the first team. But it looks like we got to sell him.
What about this Pivos guy? Pivos, is that his name?
Oh, Pivos, I don't even know, man.
He's gone to Willem too.
He's gone to the Dutch league, so
Eredivisie, Willem too.
He's followed the Minty route.
Will he ever play a game for us? That's the question.
Yeah.
Well,
is he good enough?
That's like a lot of them, isn't it?
Isn't good enough, this guy.
Well, what I mean is like he goes there, he has a great season. Do we go, we can cash in on this fella? Or do we put him in the team and go, it could be a nice little asset?
Yeah.
If you look at where he plays, and that's like the right centre back DM, are they coaching him to be that replacement for the likes of Shah? Because he can play the ball. He's very good with his feet. He's very good at reading the game. He's got a lot of backing from previous coaches. That's the reasons why he was brought in, I believe, was the fact that he has got all of the technical ability to be our next Shah.